and playing the keyboard. Thank you, dear. So I said it was the star of the show. Anyway.
Ain't no sunshine, only darkness every day. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. I can't leave your feet alone. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone.
He said, now Dad, don't go into your inner circle. So I went into and I grabbed him, and do you remember this, Mac? And I jacked him up, and I said, screaming in his face, don't you ever talk to your mother that way. You can talk to me that way, and your buddies, don't you ever talk to your mother that way. And I said, when I let you down, take your best shot. And he was so freaked out. We're all crying. We're all crying. We're all freaked out. Not Mac. He's still doing the oatmeal. Oh my God. When's that bus coming? I'm not riding with them today. So then the funny part is, I'm not making this up. 3 days later, Robert is kind of skulking into the house, and I'm looking at him, and not a pot pipe, not a rifle, barbells. He's going to take care of Dad. Next time Dad breaks bad, Dad's getting it back. I never, ever touched him like that again. And I mean, we spanked a little bit. Anyway. I'm not talking about thee. I'm talking about... this is pretty funny. And you're going to have to do it. Please do it. And maybe V, you should do it. So I'm doing my very first scary plumbing seminar. Make it fast. California. I've never done it before. 20 plumbers. And I say to the guy in the front, I get a little wound up, and I'm new and I'm scared. But at 10 o'clock, give me the high sign, and there's coffee and donuts. So I might have said this. So I'm doing my thing, I'm going goofy, delta T, molecular boiling, pipe, water flow, and then finally he's looking at me just like this, he's not that much further, and he goes, what do? Molecular boiling, I think my tie's run or my glasses, I just kept right on going. Finally he stood up and said, coffee and donuts, buddy, and I go, okay. So just cut me off. So anyways, I'm on business for the same water heater company, and I did a really bad thing. I got a bad hotel room with dirty diapers and the thing. Anyways, I come back from that trip, and Robert picks me up at the airport. Thanks, because I needed to move on. Robert picks me up at the airport, and we're booking. He never did less than 80, ever. And I don't think he ever got stopped for 80. So we're zipping down, and so he's playing me music, I'm requesting music, and he comes down to the Middlesex exit, and in his rocket ship, and he comes to a complete friggin' stop. And I'm like, And he pulls away, I mean, at least 3 seconds. And I go, Robert, you don't have to stop because the driver's ed guy's in the car. He goes, I'm not. Dad, I don't want a stupid ticket. I want a good ticket like speeding. He goes, I don't really want another careless and negligent, another. But I'm not going to get a stupid ticket. Oh, I feel better. So I don't even know why this is down here. Oh, this is the other, featuring a wonderful rock star. They're backing down, no names, backing down someone's driveway very near here, and Robert says to her, hey, open the door and see if he's backing down the driveway. And she opens the door, and boom, takes the door off. The corner of the door hit the snowbank, boom, door's gone. I get up, I'm in the morning, I look out, Jed is there, that's good, he's home safe and sound, I don't see anything. So he rolls in downstairs around 10 o'clock and goes, Dad, we got a problem. What is it? He goes, the right side door of the Jetta's in the back seat. So here is the real Paul Harvey, whoever he was. He totaled my Jetta, my beautiful red Jetta, had a really bad day. He called up the junkyard where they took the red Jetta, and the door was still good. And we went and took the door off, and I swear to God, we bolted it onto the car, and that car was good to go as ever. And Robert would tell you, he's, I'm so unlucky. It's like, are you kidding me? So, I guess, can't read this. Oh, I guess that's it. So the deal is, I think, last I heard, I'm going to try to sing a song. Well, I'm going to do hopefully 1 or 2 little things. I'm only going to do 2. I'm going to skip number 3. I'm skipping 3. I'm going to sing a song, and then I have the unbelievable honor and privilege of playing with Robert's oldest friend from 2, 3, Dan Schofield. They used to sit in our kitchen at a little table, and they talk to each other like twins. They're going, blah, 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 and they go, no idea what they're saying, no idea. Anyway, so Dan is going to play jazz, and I'm going to recite a poem. Danny calls it a powerful poem. It is, but it's a good one. So I guess I have to sing now. Oh, so the story, every song has a story. This is pretty funny, I think. So I decide, being a good parent, and she's downstairs, whatever, taking a nap, but just fine. So I read to him every night, and V read. She read. She never naps. It's all right. She was doing the dishes and ironing. So we read to them all the books you've all heard, including Shel Silverstein. I'm going to leave that part out, okay? So then I decide, well, why don't you play music for these guys? That's a thing. So I started playing music, and one night, out of the mouths of babes, Matt goes, Dad, you play such sad songs. Did you know that? And I go, oh, so I'm driving to work? And I go, yeah, I do. I played Joni Mitchell and and everyone's breaking up and crying. So I said, you better ramp up your game. So I wrote songs, only 2. You're only going to hear one. Yeah, buddy. Mac, do you know what song I'm singing? Of course, it has to do with cars. I bought a 48 Chevy, and they're called Fleet Lines, where the whole back is a just straight back. So V and I had a 6-pack or so. And we painted it red, white, and blue. Whatever. And we put a star in the door. It was great. It was cool.
Put it in the parade.
Yes. Put it in the parade, and across the big back window, I wrote SHEBROLAY, because that's how these guys call the car, the Chevrolet. So it's a Chevrolet. So this was my probably first song about the Chevrolet. And I probably... I'm going to hand to my lovely assistant.
My name's Dana.
Thanks. That's good, I guess. Testing. That pretty good? So anyways, this is my attempt at a happier song. You might think, what the hell? But I need to prep it. Can anyone tell me, if I say something, is a Blue Flame 6, does anyone know what that means? Blue Flame 6? Famous Chevy motor, the Blue Flame 6. Most of you are familiar with the Slant 6 Dodge Dart. All you ski about? Yeah. See? Thank you, Beaver. Well, the Blue Flame was a famous Chevy motor. And this is a little X-rated, but those guys didn't know. They didn't know what I was talking about. And at any point you can sing along, but especially at the end. My first car was a Chevy. Sorry. That thing sure was heavy. But nothing could outdo its Blue Flame 6. Forget it, the other part. Down a dusty old back road, out across an old cornfield. As wild teenagers, we got our kicks. S-H-E-B R-O-L-A-Y. What's that spell? Chevrolet. Catch it on, quick crowd. S-H-E-B R-O-L-A-Y. Here's the dirty part. I drove my Chevy down to the levee. Had a new recruit for the back seat. We killed a 6-pack, hopped into the back, making love in that Chevy. Sure was sweet. And then I'm going to skip the verse, blah, 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 Chevrolet, blah, blah, blah. I get credit for thinking on the road. Then one day I got a note from Uncle Sam. Seems he got into a terrible jam. Vietnam. Threw the keys to the kid next door. Taught him stick shift driving a little more. Then I went off to fight someone's war. And then you have the whole thing. Well, I'm gonna do it this time. S-H-E-B R-O-L-A-Y. What's that spell? Chevrolet. Thank you. S-H-E-B R-O-L-A-Y. I made it back and took a wife. We had some kids and a happy life. I restored that Chevy in my spare time. And now when we go to the dairy bar, I tease the kids and I go, want to take my truck or the car? Oh, Dad, you're so goofy. Of course, the only thing we ever take to the dairy bar is the Chevrolet. Thank you. S-H-E-B R-O-L-A-Y. Chevrolet. If you don't mind happiness, not always being so very much fun. If you don't mind a touch of hell now and then, just when everything is fine, because even in heaven, they don't sing all the time. The world is a beautiful place to be born into if you don't mind some people dying all the time, or maybe only starving some of the time, which isn't half so bad if it isn't you. The world is a beautiful place to be born into if you don't much mind a few dead minds in higher places, or a bomb or two now and then in your upturned faces, or such other improprieties as our name brand society is prey to. With its men of distinction, extinction, and priests and other patrolmen, its various segregations, congressional investigations, and other constipations, blah, blah, blah. Yes, the world is the best place of all for a lot of such things as making the fun scene, making the love scene, making the sad scene, and singing low songs and having inspirations, looking at everything, smelling flowers, and even thinking and kissing people, making babies, wearing pants, waving hats, dancing, going swimming in rivers, on picnics, in the middle of summer, and just generally living it up. Yeah. But then, right in the middle of it all, comes the smiling mortician. So thank you for listening.
Made it into a candle holder, so I'm going to light some candles in Robert's memory and read a poem. And by the way, V, you get to keep this and the extra candles. This is called the Ceremony of Candles. And as I read the Ceremony of Candles, I'm going to light each candle, so bear with me. Hopefully I won't set my paper on fire. Ceremony of Candles. The first candle represents our grief. The pain of losing you is intense. It reminds us of the depth of our love for you, Robert. The second candle represents our courage to confront our sorrow, to comfort each other, to change our lives. This third candle we place here in your memory for the time we laughed, the times we cried, and there were lots of those. Times we were angry with each other, there were a lot of those too. And for the silly things you did, and probably for Robert, that's what was the most of things. Robert, silly things you did. The caring and the joy you gave us. And this fourth candle, the last candle, is for our love for you as we share this time of remembrance with our family and friends and others who have lost a loved one. We cherish a special place in our hearts that will always be reserved for you. We thank you for the gift your living has brought to each of us. We love you, Robert. We remember you. Amen.
Spent almost all his money on partying, useless gadgets, and fast cars. The rest he wasted. At his best, he was a mascot for what truly living in the moment can look like. He liked to do all his favorite things at once, even when they didn't make for the best combinations. Such as drinking while driving, or better yet, drinking while driving while drunk. And somehow he made that seem cool. He made a lot of borderline shit seem really cool. Like smoking and taking speeding tickets to jury trial, among many other things. He liked to stir his Basil Hayden with a baculum, which, for non-veterinarians, is the bone of a coyote's penis. He self-identified as a Team Zissou intern. I think the quest for adventure, disregard for safety, and casual handling of firearms really appealed to him. He did all his own stunts. If crashing cars was a profession, he would have been considered a very successful man. He regarded high-speed car chases with the police as good, clean fun. I'm sure he'd want me to reference the fact that he had at least a 75% win rate. And he was a founding member of the Shitty Brothers Club and could be the biggest pain in the ass you've ever met in your life. But he was always a great guy to have on your side. He would have been an excellent lawyer, not the kind that works for the Nature Conservancy. Oh no. The other kind. Somewhere he's fighting to get his driver's license back right now, and you know what? They're gonna give it to him because not even saints have that much patience. I'm gonna skip all the bad stuff except to say that his addiction was not him, and many of the things he said and did in his later years were not him either. He was a true, one-of-a-kind legend, and somewhere he's driving fast and reckless in a 1998 air-cooled silver twin-turbo 911 with a glass of basil and a dick bone in it. Waiting for the rest of us to come to the party.
And the last year, a couple of years, but going over, I sat with him on the eve of New Year's Eve of last year, and we were up at 5 in the morning, and he was going to rehab, and I was going to France. And I'm on the sofa, and John and Via are rushing around and getting everything ready. And it's such a precious moment. It was so incredibly serene. And he sat on the sofa, and his dad brought him a cup of tea, and they continued working away. I was trying to get my novel sent. And he's there, and I'm here. And, you know, I said, "Are you afraid?" And he's like, "No." And then, you know, a big hug, and he goes out the door, him to his fate and future, and me to mine. But it's a very, very special time. So, he was part of the teenage group that probably we're the last parents to go crazy. I mean, like, I think ever since kids have been good.
Tell them how I met you.
All right, they said tell you how we met, so we knew who the other was, but we got a call in the middle of the night from Warren that our boys had been caught with pot sitting in a car. So John goes and Frank and I go, and it's late at night. It's like, oh my God, you know. And evidently they were in front of a certain house there. And the policeman even said we rode by we cruised a little bit so they could become aware and maybe go back in the house. No, not these kids, no. So there we are, and I am like furious and meeting John and talking to him, and from then on we became family really, but not just from that, because we liked each other. So when they were 16 and turning 17, my friend Simon, my godson, who's the son of my dear French friend Colette, who many people here know, he came and spent the summer from Paris, but he had never experienced anything like this summer in Vermont. And he describes it so beautifully. I wrote him that Robert had passed, and this is the letter he wrote, and I think it so describes a lot of that period, because it's so, Because we tend to all remember the negative or think of the negative, but it was actually so much joy. And before internet, before cell phones, all of that. So this is from Simon, and he's now a big pop star in France and all over Europe. And he wrote this. Most in Paris are sleeping still, but I'm on the terrace with coffee in hand. Most but one being is playing saxophone somewhere in the neighborhood as I am writing, and it rebounds with the church bells in the air for a moment. I remember Robert on your porch, about age 16, 17 for most of us, him playing his instrument and being the cool cat. I remember how cool he was in my eyes with his hair, the hat, the beautiful, genuinely warm smile that he would give to us watching between the notes played. I remember thinking that America was this to me. The porch, the friends gathered around a fire in the prairie, the band, teenage love affairs, music and secrets everywhere. Another night, all of us riding to Robert's wonderful house, him telling jokes while we were all in the jacuzzi at night under the main of stars. All of this has printed my iris so well that it feels as if it was last summer. The exoticism that rose every day to my Parisian eyes. The big adventure, all of the beauty of what's held in a 17-year-old's teenage summer. Robert, his smile and his warm eyes was part of this. And to me, he is forever the 90s perfect kid, playing music and surrounded by nature, summer, and love, just like I was. I am sad today because a part of my childhood flies away, taking the image of a beautiful smile from a beautiful kid to a somewhere unknown. Learning that Bob was suffering this much makes me wish to be again for a snap at that period, when we were with Luke and him in Luke's car, waiting for gas at the station and talking about our future tattoos. It makes me want to hold this night, stretch this moment, and pin it on the wall of my mind. Memories are treasures, treasures to be penned, hanged on the walls of soul for the hard days. Maybe every moment has its own beat and lives its life somewhere in the nights of time. I am sad, yes, I've been sad before. All I know is in this moment, this unbelievable moment, all I know is that no one knows what was before and what is next, when we go, where do we go. To me, there is no ending, just a change of path. I love you too, my dear Mama J. Please know I'm with you all.